Hello, this is Erik Jagnandan, and I'm presenting my Lab 3 homework in Blender for VR Lab. So in this lab, I started by creating the wall structure. As you can see here, I'm selecting the walls that I created, as well as the floor. I just used this with several cubes, and then I used a carpet texture for the floor, and then a light blue painted wall texture for the walls. And this wall on the right, I cut a hole into it so that I could do the window next, which you're going to see in a moment. As this window is created first by creating this window frame made of 4 cubes joined together with a black wood texture, which I then inset to the wall. And then inside of that, I added the window pane, with this glass with a water droplets texture on it. So that's how the window was implemented. Then moving on to the 11 furniture, which I have included in my design. So here we have the bed. It's made of first the bed frame, which consists of 1 cube here for the main body plus 4 legs. They're all joined together and they have a light brown wood texture. Then I added the sheets using a cube on the top, which is very flat, plus 4 around the outside to show how the sheets would go down around the outside of the bed. That uses this this blue fabric texture. And then I've added the pillow, which is done using a cube, which is chamfered off in a 10-piece chamfer, 10-segment chamfer, which allowed a sort of a rounded effect on the top and bottom. You'll see that a little better if we zoom in a little closer, this effect on the pillow. So then next we have a desk made of 4 cubes for the legs and 1 for the top, brown dark wood texture. Chair, 4 legs made of cubes. A seat, backrest made of cubes. So a bunch of cubes together makes this chair, brown wood texture. I've got this armoire here on the left. It has a box structure using cubes, and then it has the cylinder going across as a hanger, place to hang your clothes. I use this fairly grainy wood texture as well. I use the same 2 textures here for my nightstand and dresser, which are made using cubes. In the case of the nightstand, it's for the 4 for the legs, 1 for this bottom shelf, 1 for this top surface, 1 for this middle section. And then if we look very closely, we'll see that there is a little knob on the front as a sort of handle for it right here. And then on the dresser, similar structure, big main section made of a cube, a top, 4 cubes to represent drawers, and each of them has 2 handles made out of cylinders. Next, we have a vase for a plant. This is made using a cylinder, which was, I used a 10-segment chamfer on the bottom to round it off to make this rounded effect, and then I made a cut through the top to make it hollow, like you could put a plant inside. Next, we have the lamp. 2 cylinders form the base, which have a brass texture, plus the top is made of a cylinder, which was a 1-segment chamfer on top to create this angled effect rather than a rounded effect like on the vase. And then on the underside, I cut into it using the extrude feature in edit mode, and that's representing the lamp shade there, that portion. Then we have a coffee table. This is our 9th piece of furniture. It's implemented simply with 4 legs using cubes, and then a top cube, which is very flat for the surface of the table itself. Then we have this table, which is sort of high table for eating. Just 3 cylinders, this dark metal texture, bottom, and then a middle one for the sport, and then the top. And then we have another chair, 4 legs using cubes, and then the main section using a cube, and then 2 cubes here and 1 here for the backrest. So those are my 11 pieces of furniture in the scene, plus we talked about the room walls and floor and the window. And then finally, I have placed the camera well out here, as you can see here. And from this camera, we get the rendered image, which if I go up here and render the image, you can see that this is what we see of our scene. You can see all of our furniture, plus we can see the window from the outside. So that's my presentation on my Lab 3 homework for VR Lab.